Thanks, Tony. In the past, clubs were grouped into clusters and assigned an assistant or an area governor to monitor and support them. As part of our new operating model, we're trying out a new way of doing things, and that is designed to empower clubs to support each other in groups of clubs known as a Rotary Community Group or an RCG. Your community group is your club's support network. The clubs in your group can share expertise and identify opportunities where you can work together to achieve more than you could do on your own. Your community group is not designed to limit what your club does, and your club can still collaborate with other clubs outside your community group on things like service, projects, and events. My own club is doing this and cooperating with clubs in regional New South Wales on some important community work, and we're delighted to be able to continue to do so while still forming part of our own Rotary Community Group. But your community group is not by itself, does not operate on its own. You'll have someone to support you, and you probably know about this already. The support person is your Rotary Community Leader, or your RCL. Think of your Rotary Community Leader as your guide or mentor of the group on your path to success. Community leaders, first and foremost, are facilitators. Their role is not to monitor your club. Visiting clubs regularly is not a mandatory part of their role, giving your community group the freedom to determine how it can most effectively engage with its leaders. It's up to the community group and the leaders to work this out. So your community leader's role is to empower the clubs in the group, to increase their impact, to expand their reach, to enhance participant engagement, and increase their ability to adapt. Your community leader is on hand to equip you with the tools and resources that you will need to forge your path to success, to help you navigate any obstacles you may face on your journey, to point you in the right direction when you don't know who to turn to for assistance, and to help direct you back on track if you lose your way. Community leaders will primarily work with club leaders such as the club president, empowering them to lead their own clubs to success. Over the past month and in this month, Rotary Community Groups, or RCGs, throughout our region have been meeting to begin developing their growth plans. My own club is meeting with our own community group tomorrow to start this process. Think of your growth plan as a map for your group's journey to success. Your growth plan will identify your community group's main destinations on the path to success and will map out how you can best reach them. The four key areas of your growth plan the four key areas your growth plan will address are drawn from Rotary's own action plan. These are the four core priorities Rotary clubs around the world are striving to meet. We want to increase the impact of the service projects we undertake. We want to find ways to share our club's stories with the rest of the world so they can learn about the power of Rotary and the successful things that we achieve. We want to ensure the clubs are providing vibrant and engaging member experiences so that members want to remain part of their Rotary club and not resign in the numbers they currently do. And finally, we want to explore ways you can adapt the operations of your club to meet the changing needs of your community. A growth plan is not something that will be developed by your community leader and enforced on your club, and it won't be developed by the regional council either and enforced on your club. Rather, the clubs in your community group will work together to develop their own growth plan, support each other to implement it, and revise it if and when needed with guidance from your community leader. So now let's get some input from you. Let's know what you think the clubs in your community group might be able to work on together. Scan the QR code on your screen with your mobile phone, going to slido.com, enter the number on your screen, 3687955, or you can access the link directly from the resources tab at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Go into Slido and give us some words or give us some ideas that you think might that might be ideas or projects that your club might be able to, or club and your community group might be able to work on to participate in the ongoing success of Rotary in our local areas, in our regions, in our countries, and in our zones. We're already getting some fantastic ideas coming in, and this is in addition to ideas that came out from previous discussions between groups of clubs earlier this year. Public image is a really important one. I mentioned previously the Better Future for Our Children project in the Pacific. I only discovered this project by accident last December. We have to tell the world the really important things that Rotary is achieving across the Pacific Islands. Domestic violence is coming through as a strong mechanism here. Credit to district governors who have developed the domestic and family violence program. They have done fantastic work in bringing this project to attention, and credit to the current district governors for agreeing to continue on that project. This is where Rotary can really announce its presence right across our zone in a particularly important and challenging area. Fundraising is important. Youth programs are particularly important. We want to look at that. Better service schemes, peace, expanding our involvement with youth, schools, and so on. There's a tremendous level of ideas developing just in front of us, just in the last couple of minutes, and this is just goes to show the desire of members and your desire to work in groups, to work with other clubs, and really start to make a difference. This is what Rotary and Rotaract really is all about, and it's just wonderful to see these ideas coming through. Thank you for your input into these in response to this this question. This is brilliant stuff. So moving on, what I'd like to do now is just to look at some of the ideas that have already come out of conversations between groups of Rotary clubs, again at their establishment meetings late last year, early this year. Your group might, for example, want to run a joint marketing campaign to attract new members to your clubs. You may also want to collaborate to create content that each club can share across your individual websites and social media platforms, reducing the burden on each club to make content from scratch. You might submit a joint grant application to increase your likelihood of securing funding for service projects. Your clubs could collaborate to form partnerships and build partnerships with your local council, local businesses, local media outlets, and other organisations in your local community to increase your reach and your effectiveness. You might also identify service projects where your clubs could work together to increase your impact. I know that just in our own group of clubs in the northern suburbs of Sydney, it has already been absolutely eye-opening to realise that some things that other clubs wanted to do, clubs in our group are already experts in those types of projects. And this is where club collaboration in their community groups is going to be a massive benefit as part of our regionalisation pilot. Of course, your clubs can also share resources, knowledge, best practice, so that you can support each other to thrive and not only thrive, but to survive, but also to thrive in future years. These are just some examples of what a community group could do. The examples that you've given us add enormously to the matters that we've got to the ideas we've already got on the screen here now. The possibilities are endless as to what you and your group can achieve together. And like I've said, this is to come from you and your group. It does not come from your regional council or from your community leader. This comes from the clubs. We want to help you be even more effective and to increase your reach. So now we've looked at the role of the Rotary Community Group, the Rotary Community Leader, and how that supports clubs.